The Chicago Sky just made the most shocking decision in franchise history, and Angel Reese never saw it coming. What started as a simple team meeting turned into a complete organizational revolt that has the entire WNBA talking. The veteran players finally said what everyone was thinking, but nobody dared to speak out loud. Angel Reese's days in Chicago are officially numbered, and the way it all went down will absolutely blow your mind. Before we dive into this explosive situation, make sure to hit that like button if you think Angel Reese has gone too far this time, and subscribe for more breaking WNBA news, because what happens next is going to change everything. The tension had been building for months, but nobody expected it to explode like this. During what was supposed to be a routine team meeting about the upcoming 2025 season plans, Courtney Vanderloot stood up and delivered the most savage takedown of Angel Reese anyone has ever witnessed. She didn't hold back, and she didn't mince words. The 5-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion basically told Reese that her attitude was destroying the team from the inside out. But that wasn't even the most shocking part. What happened next would leave everyone speechless. The entire coaching staff backed Vanderloot completely. Head coach Tyler Marsh, who had been trying to keep the peace all season, finally admitted that Angel Reese had become uncoachable. He revealed that Reese had been skipping team meetings, showing up late to practices, and worst of all, publicly undermining veteran players on social media. The organization had been documenting everything for months, and they were ready to take action. But the real bombshell came when 3 other veterans joined Vanderloot in confronting Reese. Ariel Atkins, Rachel Banham, and even newer additions to the team all stood up and shared their own experiences with Reese's toxic behavior. They talked about how she would throw tantrums during practice, blame everyone else for her mistakes, and create drama where there didn't need to be any. One player even revealed that Reese had been secretly recording locker room conversations and posting edited clips online to make her teammates look bad. The most damaging revelation came from the team's medical staff, who broke their silence about what really happened during Reese's supposed wrist injury last season. They claimed that Reese had been cleared to play weeks before she actually returned, but chose to sit out longer to avoid tough matchups. She apparently wanted to preserve her rebounding stats and didn't want to risk playing against stronger opponents who might expose her limited offensive game. This accusation sent shockwaves through the organization because it meant Reese had been lying to fans, coaches, and teammates for months. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have been building something special without any of this drama. Clark just signed a massive extension with Indiana and brought in Sophie Cunningham to strengthen their already dominant roster. The contrast between how these two franchises are operating couldn't be more obvious. While Chicago is imploding, Indiana is thriving, and it all comes down to leadership. Clark leads by example, never throws teammates under the bus, and focuses on winning basketball games, not social media battles. The financial implications of this disaster are staggering. Sources inside the Sky organization revealed that season ticket sales for 2025 have dropped by 40% since news of the locker room dysfunction went public. Major sponsors are threatening to pull out if changes aren't made immediately. The team's merchandise sales have plummeted, and Angel Reese jerseys are being returned at record rates. One executive was overheard saying that keeping Reese might cost the franchise millions in lost revenue. But here's where it gets even crazier. The Sky front office has been secretly shopping Angel Reese to other teams since December. They've reached out to at least 6 different franchises, trying to gauge interest in a trade. The problem is, nobody wants to take on her contract and her baggage. One general manager reportedly laughed when Chicago called and said they wouldn't trade a second-round pick for Reese, let alone actual players. The market for drama queens with limited offensive skills is apparently non-existent. What really sealed Reese's fate was when the team's ownership group got involved. They commissioned an independent investigation into the team culture, and the results were devastating for Reese. Players reported feeling anxious and stressed whenever she was around. Some admitted they considered requesting trades just to get away from her. The investigation found that team chemistry improved dramatically during the games Reese missed, and performance metrics showed the team actually played better without her on the court. The investigation also uncovered something nobody expected. Angel Reese had been actively trying to recruit players to leave Chicago and join her in forming a super team elsewhere. She had been in contact with agents and other players, promising them she could get them better deals if they all left together. This betrayal was the final straw for the organization. They realized they weren't just dealing with a difficult player, they were dealing with someone actively working against the team's interests. But the most embarrassing moment came when video footage from a recent practice leaked online. In the video, Reese can be seen arguing with coaches about playing time while her teammates are running drills. She storms off the court, throws a water bottle, and screams that she's being disrespected. The video went viral within hours and became a meme across social media. Even other WNBA players were sharing it and laughing at how unprofessional she looked. The contrast with how Courtney Vanderloot handled her ACL recovery couldn't be more striking. While Reese was creating drama and making excuses, Vanderloot was in the gym at 5 a.m. every morning working on her comeback. She never complained, never made excuses, and never blamed anyone else for her situation. She just put her head down and worked. That's what real professionals do, and that's why she has the respect of everyone in the league, while Reese is becoming a cautionary tale. Sources close to the situation revealed that Angel Reese's agent has been desperately trying to do damage control, but it's too late. The bridges have been burned, and there's no going back. The agent has been calling media outlets trying to spin the story, but nobody's buying it anymore. Even Reese's most loyal supporters in the media are starting to distance themselves because they can see which way the wind is blowing. The timing of all this couldn't be worse for Reese. The 2025 WNBA season is shaping up to be the most competitive in history, with new expansion teams and rising stars like Caitlin Clark taking the league to new heights. While other players are focused on championships and growing the game, Reese is stuck in a controversy of her own making. She's becoming irrelevant at the exact moment when the WNBA is exploding in popularity. What's particularly telling is how other teams are reacting to this situation. Multiple coaches have privately said they would never want Reese on their team regardless of her rebounding ability. They've seen what she's done to Chicago's locker room, and they want no part of it. One coach was quoted saying that Reese is the type of player who can single-handedly destroy a championship contender from within. The psychological evaluation that the Sky required all players to undergo as part of their investigation revealed some troubling patterns in Reese's behavior. Without getting into specifics, the report suggested that Reese has difficulty accepting responsibility for her actions and tends to blame external factors for her problems. The evaluator recommended intensive counseling and anger management training, but Reese reportedly refused to participate, saying there was nothing wrong with her. Meanwhile, the rest of the Sky roster is trying to move forward without her. They've been having player-only meetings to rebuild trust and establish new team values. The energy in these meetings is reportedly completely different without Reese present. Players are laughing again, joking around, and actually enjoying being teammates. Several players have said it feels like a dark cloud has been lifted from the organization. The financial forensics are even more damaging. The Sky discovered that Reese had been violating numerous clauses in her contract related to conduct and team obligations. She had been fined internally multiple times, but the team kept it quiet to avoid public embarrassment. Now they're using these violations as leverage in buyout negotiations. They want her gone, but they also don't want to pay her full contract to leave. Social media has been absolutely brutal to Reese since all this came out. Her follower count has dropped by hundreds of thousands, and her engagement rates have plummeted. Brands that once wanted to work with her are running in the opposite direction. One marketing executive said that Reese has become toxic to brands, and nobody wants to be associated with her current image. The Sky Barbie persona she worked so hard to build has completely collapsed. But here's the thing that really shows how far Reese has fallen. Young players entering the league are being warned by their agents to stay away from her. She's become an example of what not to do as a professional athlete. Rookie orientation now includes discussions about maintaining professionalism, and Reese is used as the cautionary tale. That's not the legacy any player wants to have. The Chicago Sky have already started planning for life after Angel Reese. They've been scouting international players and looking at trade possibilities to fill her spot. The coaching staff has been developing new offensive systems that don't rely on offensive rebounding as much. They're building a team that can actually score in the half court, something they struggled with when Reese was dominating the ball on offense. What makes this even more tragic is that Reese had all the physical tools to be great. Her rebounding ability is genuinely elite, and her motor is impressive. But her attitude and behavior have completely overshadowed her talent. She chose drama over development and social media over skill improvement. Now she's paying the price for those choices. The latest development is that Reese's camp is exploring options overseas. They've reached out to teams in Turkey and China to gauge interest. The money would be less, but it might be her only option to continue playing professional basketball. The WNBA doors are closing fast, and she might need to rebuild her reputation abroad before any team here will take another chance on her. The veterans who stood up to Reese are being praised throughout the league for their courage. Courtney Vanderloot, in particular, has received messages of support from players on every team. They respect that she was willing to speak truth to power and protect the integrity of the game. She didn't do it for attention or drama, she did it because it was the right thing to do. As for Angel Reese herself, she's been noticeably quiet since everything went down. Her usual social media activity has stopped completely. No Instagram stories, no tweets, no TikToks, nothing. Sources say she's been advised by legal counsel to stay silent while they negotiate her exit from Chicago. The loud personality that once dominated headlines has gone completely dark. The impact on the 2025 season is already being felt. The Sky's season ticket holders are demanding answers, and many want refunds. The team is having to do major damage control just to keep their fanbase intact. They're promising big changes and a new direction, but fans are skeptical after being burned by the Reese drama. This whole situation is a masterclass in how not to handle professional sports. Angel Reese had everything handed to her on a silver platter. She was drafted to a major market team, had endorsement deals lined up, and was positioned to be one of the faces of the league. Instead, she chose to create chaos and destroy relationships. She'll go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in WNBA history. The lesson here is clear. Talent alone isn't enough in professional sports. You need character, work ethic, and the ability to be a good teammate. Caitlin Clark understands this. Sophie Cunningham understands this. Courtney Vanderloot definitely understands this. Angel Reese never learned this lesson, and now her career is in ruins because of it. As we wrap up this incredible story, make sure to leave a comment below about what you think should happen to Angel Reese. Should the Sky trade her immediately or try to salvage the relationship? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell because the next chapter of this saga is going to be even more explosive. The Chicago Sky have had enough, and Angel Reese is about to learn that actions have consequences in the WNBA